The Fizz is the most versatile yo-yo for beginners that we have ever carried. So, if you have never yo-yoed before, the Fizz makes learning to yo-yo easier than ever. This is the Fizz Yoyo, and as you can see, it comes in our yoyotricks.com small box. And like all yo-yos that come in the small box, it's a lot easier to get out if you remove it from the bottom. And you'll notice when you take the yo-yo out of the package that on the inside of the package there is some extra string in there. So first thing, before I talk too much about the yo-yo, just let me show you how the string goes on. It goes on the same way it does on other yo-yos, so there's nothing special about that. But you know, like all yo-yo string, you've got two ends. This one has the loop for your finger, and then this end goes on the yo-yo. So you're just going to untwist that, open it up, and you want to put it on the yo-yo while the yo-yo is already screwed together. You never want to put a string onto a yo-yo while the yo-yo's taken apart, because the string could slide between the bearing and the yo-yo and that'll cut the string. So just get used to putting the yo-yo together first and then putting the string on, and that'll keep your yo-yo working properly. Now, we are really excited about the Fizz because we feel like it is the most versatile beginner yo-yo that we've ever carried. Now, in saying that, you might not be exactly sure what I mean by that. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, what do we mean by saying that it's a beginner yo-yo? Well, when we're talking about beginner yo-yos, what we mean are yo-yos that have specific features that make it easier for brand new players to learn the basics, specifically throwing the yo-yo down, getting it back up, and then the first couple of tricks you learn after that. Now, a lot of yo-yoers, when they talk about a beginner yo-yo, what they're really thinking about is yo-yos that are less expensive, or sometimes they mean any yo-yo that plays responsive. We mean something a little more specific than that. We're talking about a yo-yo that specifically has features to make learning the basics as easy as possible. So the Fizz, the feature that it has that we feel like makes it qualify for that is, if you look on the inside of the yo-yo, as I'm turning it, you may notice that there's these little teeth on the inside, and that makes it grip the string a lot easier, which makes it easier to wind up, makes it easier to pull the yo-yo back up even when it's spinning slowly, and that can just help so much if this is your first yo-yo, because just learning how to throw the yo-yo and get it back up, that can be pretty tricky. So when we say that this is a versatile beginner yo-yo, what we're specifically talking about is the shape of the yo-yo and the way that it plays. So I'm going to bring in a couple other yo-yos just to give you a point of comparison. We have a trick list that we recommend players use called the First 50 Yo-Yo Trick List. And along with that, we have a pack that we call the First 50 Yo-Yo Tricks Pack, and that includes these two yo-yos, the Sage and the Oracle. And you can see that these yo-yos, they kind of go together, they look a little bit similar, but then when you turn them on their side, you can see that they are extremely different. The Sage is really wide, which makes it really good for tricks where you land the yo-yo on the string. You can see that the entire width of the yo-yo, if you were to start to land the yo-yo onto the string, no matter where the string touches the yo-yo, it'll force the string into the center. And that's one of the things that makes it good for those. The Oracle is just the opposite. It has really high walls here, and that makes it really good for looping style tricks. And so as yo-yo tricks have become more difficult, yo-yos have become more specialized, which allows you to go further. Now, if you're a new player, what we like about the Fizz is that it is right in between these two yo-yos. You can see that it's got a flared shape so that if you try to land the yo-yo on the string, it will always force the string into the center no matter where you hit it onto the yo-yo, just like the Sage. But its inner walls are really high, so it's actually pretty good at learning the basics of looping like the Oracle. Now, as you can see, because it's got high walls, it's not like the Sage in this one respect, that the Sage, the inner wall is really low, which actually makes it better for string tricks. You can see the Sage is a little bit wider, which makes it good for string tricks. The Oracle is a little bit more narrow, which makes it better for looping tricks. So when you get into more advanced tricks, it is better to get specialized yo-yos. But when you're just getting started, it's nice to have a yo-yo that can bring you into the basics of all the different tricks that you're going to be learning as a new player, and that's what the Fizz is. Now, everything from the ground up has been designed into the Fizz to make it as easy for beginners as possible. So the first thing is, it's made out of polycarbonate, which is probably the most durable plastic that yo-yos are made out of these days. And we've been selling the Fizz for a little while, and we have not had customers experience problems with the yo-yo breaking, which is really awesome for a beginner yo-yo because beginners have a greater tendency to really slam the yo-yo into the ground. So it seems like this has really held up well so far for the customers who have used it. Now the other thing, like all the yo-yos that we have that have ball bearings, the Fizz Yoyo can come apart, and that makes it really nice if you get knots in the string that are inside the yo-yo. You can just take the yo-yo apart, remove the string, and then of course put the yo-yo back together before you put the string back on it. Now the first thing that I had mentioned in this video are these teeth that are on the inside of the yo-yo right here. And the way that these work, and the reason they're so nice for beginners, is because they actually get pushed into the yo-yo a little bit as the yo-yo's spinning. And so as the yo-yo spins, those teeth kind of move out of the way to allow the yo-yo to spin and sleep freely. But then when you want to pull the yo-yo back up, it's almost like they just pop right back into place and they grip onto the string and bring the yo-yo back up quickly. Now this is not the only yo-yo to use this technology, but we really, really like the implementation in the Fizz. If you look really, really closely, and you may actually just have to kind of feel it for yourself, but these teeth are a little bit rounded. And the nice thing about that is it allows the yo-yo to sleep really easily, even when the yo-yo is on the string. Some other yo-yos that use the same technology, you have to open the gap up a little bit to get them to play well on the string. But the Fizz, because the teeth are rounded, they don't interfere so much on your string tricks. And so you'll actually get a really nice play experience, and I'll show you that in a little bit with how it plays on the string, which will allow you to get into the basics of string tricks. And the other thing that the rounded teeth do for you is it's not as loud as other yo-yos that use this technology. And so that's why we call it the Fizz. It does make a different sound than most yo-yos, but it's kind of a nice, quiet sound. And yeah, I think that you'll see that when I'm using this yo-yo, it's actually a lot more pleasant than some other yo-yos that use that technology, which again is just one more thing it's got going for it. Now when you look at the rest of the yo-yo, you'll see that there's no spacers. The only thing on the inside is this bearing. And the nice thing about that is when you do have to take the yo-yo apart to get out a knot, there's nothing to lose. And again, a lot of times new players, if they get yo-yos that have spacers or things like that, those things can get lost, and then the yo-yo will need to be replaced. So you don't have to deal with that. But the other thing, the bearing on this yo-yo, it actually is attached, it's been press fit right onto this bolt. And so even the bearing won't fall out of this yo-yo, which again is just one more thing you don't have to think about. This yo-yo is just going to keep working for you. Now, like any yo-yo, the string will eventually need to be replaced. And so if you get the pack that we have with the Fizz, that's going to come with extra strings, and that'll get you up and playing again in no time. Now the one last thing that I want to point out about the Fizz is it does have a ball bearing, and we mentioned in several of our videos that any yo-yo with a ball bearing, eventually that bearing is going to need to be lubricated. So again, to talk about the Oracle and the Sage, we sell thick yo-yo lube that goes with these yo-yos, and every now and then you'll need to put a drop of thick lube into the bearing to keep it playing as responsive as you want. Now the Fizz is different because it's got these teeth. The teeth allow it to play as responsive as you want, even without thick lube. And so what we did with this yo-yo instead is we pre-lubed the bearing with thin yo-yo lube, which allows the bearing to spin really freely so you get long sleep times out of it. But the thin lube lasts a really, really long time. And so our expectation is that by the time you've learned all the basics and you're ready to upgrade to more specialized yo-yos, you still won't need to lube that bearing again. Now you always could get thin lube and put it into the bearing in this yo-yo if you just want to be safe. We wouldn't recommend lubing it more than even once a month. But we really feel like this yo-yo is pretty much good to go. You just need to change the strings as they wear out, and that's all you need to do to maintain this yo-yo. So between the durable plastic and the implementation of those teeth on the inside of the yo-yo and just the way it plays overall, we're super happy to recommend this yo-yo, and we feel like this will really give you a leg up, especially if you're just getting started and you're not sure you're going to be good at learning the tricks. So let's take a look at how it performs all of these different tricks we've been talking about. So like we were saying, for new players, one of the things that's really nice about the Fizz is that those teeth on the inside, they grip onto the string when you pull it up. Now, practically speaking, what this means is that the yo-yo doesn't have to be spinning all that quickly for you to get the yo-yo to come all the way back to your hand. And that's really, really nice when you're just getting started because your throw isn't going to be as powerful and you just won't have really good technique. And so to have a yo-yo that responds easier means you're going to be winding it up less and there's just going to be fewer problems in general. Now, once you're ready to start working on tricks, because those teeth are rounded, it is going to sleep really nicely, so you can get a good sleeper for tricks like walk the dog. When you start to learn tricks like rock the baby, you're going to have plenty of spin time to learn these tricks and get the yo-yo back to your hand. And then when you want to move up to string tricks, the nice thing about this design is that it doesn't interfere, those teeth don't interfere with the yo-yo while it's on the string, so you can actually do a lot of different types of string tricks, even though it's a responsive yo-yo. Now on top of that, because the shape is a little bit more like a looping yo-yo as well, you can also practice all your looping tricks with the same yo-yo. So you can work on your normal loops, you can work on hop the fence, you can even get into some more advanced loops like shoot the moon. Because it's got that flared shape, it's actually going to be a little bit easier to learn that than a lot of yo-yos. And because it's the same yo-yo you've been using, you can work on your loops, and then immediately you can work on your string tricks again without switching yo-yos or adjusting the yo-yo at all. So you put all that versatility into one yo-yo, and it's really, really low maintenance. The only thing you'll ever have to do with this yo-yo is change the string. It's made out of that super durable polycarbonate plastic. And it's a pretty low price point. And so we feel like for all those different reasons, we couldn't be happier to recommend to absolutely new players the Fizz Yo-Yo.